This is Palantir on the 5-minute time frame. Here are your price targets for Monday. We ended the day at 30.01, up 2.49%. To the north side from where we are takes us to another level of resistance and a potential take profit area, and the baseline, the middle of the trend, $30.19. Above that at another level of resistance, 31.21. 31.73 and 32.26 to the south side, and another level of support and a potential buy-in area, 29.15, 28.64 and 28.13. You can see this area of support. We had a bounce all the way to the middle of the trend, and from down here up to here, this line turns into resistance, and we plowed through, but then fell back down, attempted to run again, grinding along the middle of the trend. And now, if we're up here, this will turn into support and then back up to resistance. But there's a gap to the south side, as you can see right here, that will take us down to roughly, oops, let me get rid of my magnet. Actually, let me pull that over first. Again, I have no idea when the gap is going to touch. And every time I look at the chart, I have to clean it up. So that takes us to roughly 24.15. Actually, I could turn the magnet back on. Right there. Yeah, 24.18. And so we gapped up. I will anticipate a fill to the south side, but right now we are moving farther away from this gap. You can see we are in an upward channel on the 5-minute time frame. And looking left, there was this gap that I talked about, which I need to clean up. That gap opened up on the 3rd and closed on the 25th of July. Talked about price here, price here. I mean, we are ripping. 28.59, and you can see the bounce at support here. And all of these gaps that I need to clean up. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to flip this over to the 15 and clean this up. Ignore my pink lines. They are my previous buy lines. And then the green lines are my previous sell lines, but I still own a lot of Palantir. So that gap is still in play to the south side, but again, we are going up on the 15 as well as the 5. This gap is still in play as well. And this one. Okay, and another one down here. Oh, and there. Oh, it's a lot of gaps to fill. But fortunately, things have turned around for Palantir, and we had earnings. And that's why it started to rip to the upside again. They reported 634.338 million. The word on the street was 615,396. So that is amazing. I'm thinking about selling some, but I don't know. I hate to part ways with the rest of the shares that I own. Look at all this, but all the gaps to the north side. Oh my goodness. This one filled. Delete that. That one filled on January 22nd. And then this gap filled. Can you imagine buying this for $17 again? Amazing. But I actually did buy it for less than that previously. I have it at I bought in at many different levels. Okay. And this one touched, where did we touch? Let me move this out of my way. So this one touched right here to the upside, so that's done. Delete, delete. I really should flip this to the daily so I can see more of the gaps. Okay. So we had a price target of $25 back on the 5th when I looked at it, so we've blown past that. Let's see. Wow, we have a lot of gaps here that have filled to the upside that I have not cleaned up. I do love this stock. Okay, that closed out on the daily. But really, you have to, I mark it out on the 5 minutes, so it's going to get wonky if I chart it on the daily and then go back to the 5 minutes. So I will clean this up on my own at some point. Well, apparently I bought some at 10.73, and I know I definitely have those shares left, or still. And I will give you the forecast for the daily time frame. Let me just do this. Command Z, get me there faster. All right. So we are at, I'm missing a line. I could Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. It's just basically undoing all my errors because somehow I made the chart. There we go. Go wonky. See, I have my chart set up at red, white, and blue, so I know intuitively if I lose one of those lines because I have sticky fingers, then very quickly I know what's missing. All right, here we go again. So on the daily, we are at resistance, and you know what happens. So we could go a little bit more and then fall right back down to support, or at least one level of support, which would be the middle of the trend there. But obviously many other levels in between. Okay, to the north side, that will take us to 32.56. And then at 4 standard deviations, 34.65. The new price target, since we've met this at 24.63, is now $38 right there. That's the long-term game, and I'm in it for the long term. All right, so that one was a previous price target, so that's done. I mean, we haven't hit it, but if we're going to get to 38, according to this will blow past that. All right, now back to the 5 minute and moving on to my next ticker. Whoops, escape. Option R to reset. Oh no, the one I want to go over is Eli Lilly. Up 5.49% today. Oh, I need to fix that. Oops, 91.68. All right. Note we were at resistance, fell down to support, and now just grinding sideways. So to the north side, 947.45, 971.41, and 998.60. To the south side, 843.40, 818.82, and 791.83. This gap is still in play. Let me just make sure I have this set at the correct level. Yep. So this is still in play to the south side, but we are in an upward channel, so that's good news. So to the south side will take us to 773.32. This gap I've been tracking is done. No longer a threat to our account. Well, actually, it went down and went up, so that wouldn't be a threat. That's just a gain there. This is the threat. So we closed out to the upside at 858.27, so congratulations. This one was a threat to the south side and closed, and that took us to 804.64. Then you can see there's this gap right here, but we gapped down, so then there's a gap up fill, and it filled right here at roughly 834.14. This one's kind of whipped us around. It's been a little while since I looked at this. Now on the daily, so I tracked this when it was I made a video on it when it was 617.70. Again at 725.38. We have this gap on the daily. That's still a threat, and that will take us down to, let me mark this. I don't know if we're going to go half off or anything like that, but there is a potential. But right now we are still going up. And what's going on with these gaps? That one's still in play. I got to look at this one on a different time frame. Oh, I think those are priced. Was that price target? I don't know. Okay. See, I've marked this on the 5, but on the daily, it's not lined up. So I have to clean this up on the time frame that I marked out the gaps. It's just better for me. And then we've got, oh yeah, that one. And then this one down to 669.45. Okay, so that's Eli Lilly. The 1-year price target is 974.92. So on the daily, let me see here. If you don't look at price targets, you can make your own price target by using the channel that you're in. I don't need an analyst to tell me where it's going. 970.32. 10.11.73. I will just figure this out myself. 10.51.84 based off of the chart alone. Of course, it's going to take a long time to get up here, and there will be threats to our account to the south side, but in general, we are still going up. So to the south side, that will take us to 813. So be aware of that. Flip this back to the 5-minute and reset. Oh, let's do that. Option R. 891.68. Yes, right there. All right, that is it for me. That is a look at Palantir on the 5 and the daily, and Eli Lilly on the 5 and the daily as well. And I forgot to show you one thing, and that ran on the 8th off of good earnings. They reported $11 billion. The estimate word on the street was 9.97 billion. Yep, the pharmaceutical companies are always the winners. They never fail in the big picture. Okay, have a great trading day.